Zion's redemption. Every page of history reveals the terrible persecution the Jews have received from the Gentiles during the past 1900 years. The remnants of Jacob have also passed through similar tribulations. But the Gentile day is over. Let me read that again. But the Gentile day is over. The rising power of the Shemitic races, put an H in there for heavenly. The Shemitic races, according to prophecy, is at hand. The Gentiles have wasted the Lord's allotted time for receiving the restored gospel. The light shining among the Gentiles is hid in darkness, but when it goes to Israel, Yasharel, it will be seen in its brilliancy. All right, let's link Zion's redemption with Romans 11:25, God's covenant with Israel. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness, let me read that again, that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. Who in these last days have woken up? Who in the promised land, America, Turtle Island, the land of the dove that is spoken of in the keys of Enoch, who has woken up? Is it the fake $5 colonizer approved natives? No, we already know. They don't fit any of their prophecies. They don't fit the prophecies of the Hopis. They don't fit the prophecies of any indigenous people. If they were so spiritual, Caucasians would be stepping on their neck every day. If they were a spiritual threat, they would not be allowed to be making those powwows where they were drumming. We know who is not allowed to drum. We know who is being whipped with a cat of 9 tails in a field. We know who fits the description. We know who's waking up in these last days, and we know who's about to pay. Those fake Mormons over there, the fake Jews in America that have dwelled are dwelling in Utah, Judah, and the fake ones over there in the Middle East that have taken the identity of the Jews over there. Look at this. They already know. These people already know what they did. These people already know what they did. And what did it say? Once the time of the Gentiles is up, who's coming back? Who gets restored? The original, the OGs, the righteous, the real ones come back. Who's screaming at the top of their lungs, America is the promised land? Who's remembering who they are? Who's returning back to their old ways? Who's following and fulfilling the prophecies of the Jews, of the indigenous Americans, of the Hopis, of the Atlanteans? All these prophecies that I've been reading, all these different prophecies that I've gotten into, of Egypt. I just read a prophecy of Egypt in another video, signifying its importance and calling on America, saying that some great stuff is going to happen in America and people are going to rise up in America. Are the Gentiles in America rising up? Or does it seem like 99% of America is falling and failing and losing while a small percentage of us are waking up? All right, let's jump into the Apocrypha and we're going to get Second Esdras. We're going to jump down here. We're going to get chapter 6, verse 7 through 10. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras, ask thou not. You know what? I was going to end the video right there, but let's hit these clowns with the 1-2. 4 remarkable Indian prophecies. I already read from this, but it just speaks volumes. You're going to like this one. Now, remember, before I read this, the prophecy I read about Egypt and the connection of the Great Pyramid over there, how the base of it and the math and the architecture led them over to the Four Corners area of the United States: Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, that area, those areas over there. Now, I'm about to read you a Navajo prophecy. You connect it with the Egyptian prophecy of America, the prophecies that I've already read you, and you tell me who fits the description of these people. Okay? Check this out. The new faith comes also to the Indians like the sun at dawn. As the sun rises, it touches the peaks and buttes first with its light. Then slowly it moves down into the canyons. The light is at first visible only to a few who are awake, high up and watching. Some of the Navajo and other Indian peoples are like people down in a deep canyon. They are listening for the voice of the great creator, but they do not know where to look for it yet because the dark shadows blind them. But there are some Indians who are as if they are on the mountaintops, and they begin very early to dance and sing with joy when they see the glory coming. That valley, the darkness that blinds some of the Navajos, some of the Amerindians, is at the time of the Gentile. Does that represent the time of the Gentile? Does that represent sin? Does that represent having no faith, not being awakened? But to those who are awakened early, they see the light, they see the joy, they see the future and what's to come. Indian prophecies matching almost word for word, description for description, Israelite Bible prophecy, Egyptian prophecy. Where else do we have to go? The fact that the new light is said to come like the dawn warns us that even as the early sunlight rises up through the mists of the morning and slowly drives away the dark shadows of the canyons, so the coming of the new teaching will not be widely visible at first, but will reach in its beginnings only those whose spiritual eyes and ears are open. Who has that? Who's awakened? Who has awakened in America in these last days? Who's claiming to be awakened? Who's claiming their land back? Who's claiming what's theirs? Who's claiming what's right? Who's going back to the original laws of the Creator? Who sees the light? And this last part is just going to wrap it up beautifully. Many of the Navajo people now believe that this glorious light has come, but we must seek it out with understanding hearts, even as lost children seek for their father in the wilderness. Lost sheep? Interesting. So there you guys go.